What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to talk about the rise of AncientGarurumon. And one thing which is pretty gosh darn cool here, it is largely due to one of those promos that has just come out in Digimon, and it looks really, really cool. For what it's worth, the promo I'm talking about was in the anniversary pack, and remember, it has just been confirmed that these anniversary packs are going to be available in English very soon. As I told you in a video just the other day, we've got what is being referred to as a Great Legend power-up pack, and you get one in every box, but each one of these packs has 2 cards in, and there are 6 in total. So we're talking about the Lobomon here, we'll get there in a moment. Yes, this deck really is made a lot better using a promo, but it's a promo we're going to get in the not too distant future, and is not going to be the hardest one to obtain. This is a good thing. So, AncientGarurumon there. Starting off with the level 3s, what we've actually got is the new Gabumon, which just came around in BT5. And there's a very good reason we're playing this new Gabumon, because it's awesome in this kind of deck. When you play it, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you add one Digimon with Garurumon in its name and a Digimon with Omnimon in its name from among them to your hand. And this is clearly a very, very good thing, because that's the kind of deck we're playing here. So this is going to give you extra draw and search, and this is a good thing. I should say shout out to the lovely folks at Ensan Gaming and Dora Sutasano for providing the list. Speaking of Gabumon and draw, we're also playing a full 4 copies of the Gabumon from BT1 that draws a card when you play it. Playing these level 3s is going to work out pretty nicely for you. We also then see Strabamon, the one that comes around in BT4, and this one, when you play it, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you add a hybrid Digimon and a blue Tamer from among them to your hand, putting the rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. Now, we are playing a Tamer here. We are also playing a non-blue Tamer, but there is a blue Tamer we are playing. So essentially, all of your level 3s, most of them at least, are going to absolutely have your back in terms of allowing you to draw cards, which is a very cool thing. There is one other level 3 that we do see here as well. We've got ourselves just a couple copies coming in of Vmon, and on your turn, once during your turn, if this Digimon becomes active during your main phase, we'll get to that, you draw a card. Yeah. All your level 3s are able to draw cards. This is a very, very cool thing indeed. And at this stage, I probably need to apologise because I've clearly gone slightly out of order here. I should have started with the Digitama. I didn't. I started with the level 3s. So rather than doing some awkward edit and pretending I started with the level 3s all along, let's just flick over to the Digitama and just pretend nothing went even a little bit wrong. We do have a 4-1 split like we tend to see here, and the 4 we've got here is Sunamon, which admittedly doesn't really narrow it down because we've seen more than one Sunamon, but we are talking about the one that came around in BT5. If this Digimon's name contains Garurumon or Omnimon, it gains 1,000 power. And you'll notice that what I'm talking about here is some Digimon from BT5 and some promos, one promo at least, which are boosting the specific type of deck we're talking about. This is why AncientGarurumon is coming around, whereas it hasn't in the past. And then we just have a single copy of Demi Vmon here. Again, we're doing the 4-1 split, so we are not relying on this. It's just nice to have a 5th Digi-Egg for if we really want it. And this is the one that says, once during your turn, if it becomes active during your main phase, you gain 1,000 power. And obviously, this is not the first if it becomes active during the main phase skill that we've seen. So this is pretty cool. It's not amazing. There's a reason it's the one of when we're playing 4 of the Sunamon, but it ain't bad. Now, I mentioned Lobomon before. We should probably go and have a little bit of a look at it. This is the thing that immediately made all of us look and go, oh, maybe AncientGarurumon is going to come back in a big way here. Because what we've got is a rather redonkulous skill that basically says that you may Digivolve this level 4 into an Ancient Garurumon for a Digivolution cost of 1. So you go from the level 4 all the way up to the level 6, and you only actually pay 1 memory to do so. Now, you do have to delete this Digimon at the end of the turn, so it's not a long-term plan, but essentially here, this is I need a big swing this turn, so I'm going to get this down. At the end of the day, you're losing your level 4, but all you're really losing is your level 4. Because you're losing your level 6, but you weren't going to have your level 6 in play anyway, and you're only paying 1 memory. So, as long as you're not going to be too disadvantaged, sometimes you do need to go more slowly and build up, of course. But basically, this gives you a big swing, and I love it. If you don't want the big swing, anytime a Digimon that Digivolved from this would Digivolve into Ancient Garurumon, you reduce the cost by 2. So even if you want to go for a slower route, this will work very, very nicely indeed. Now, speaking of which, we've also got 4 copies of Lobomon. This is the one from BT4, and it's a hybrid Digimon that lets you Digivolve into it from a blue Tamer, as if it were a level 3 Digimon. Now, bearing in mind I've already shown you Strabamon here, which allows you to search out your Tamer, which is going to give you a little bit of extra speed. You search your Tamer, you Digivolve into this. Not to mention blue Tamers all have those security skills, all Tamers do, that let you play it without paying, and then you Digivolve it up into Lobomon. There are some good reasons here where you would want to play this card. Now, we've also got a playset coming in here of Garurumon. Again, a lot of the cards we're seeing here specifically boost Garurumon, or cards with Garurumon in their name, so it's a good idea to play some of them. And when you Digivolve, if it has Gabumon in its Digivolution cards, you gain a memory. Well, we're playing 14 level 3s and 8 of them are Gabumon. I like your chances. Essentially, it makes it a 1 cost to Digivolve, which is not the only time we've ever seen this on a level 4, but it's still pretty gosh darned good. But it's also got an inheritable skill whereby if this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, it gains 1,000 power, which you might notice is the exact same skill we've seen on our Digitama. Not a coincidence. Moving over into level 5s, it is a bit of a Garurumon fest. But bearing in mind we got these cards, like we keep saying, that are boosting Digimon with Garurumon in their name, maybe we shouldn't be surprised. So we got 3 copies of the Garurumon that actually came around as a promo card. It was a box topper promo over here, magazine promo in Japan. And this is the one that once per turn, if your Digivolution source contains Garurumon, you become active when you attack. So as long as you can make sure you survive the attack, you become active again. And bearing in mind, we've got things like when you become active, gain a memory. It's pretty cool. It's also got the skill whereby if you've got 8 or more cards in hand, you gain security attack +1. I am still very, very cynical about whether this is actually going to work very often or not. But even if this skill doesn't activate, you've still got a Garurumon, which is gaining all the benefits from being Garurumon in its name, and you're making yourself active and doing all of that, so that sounds pretty good to me. We've also got 3 copies of another Garurumon. Specifically, we are talking about the one that is actually called Garurumon Sagittarius Mode, and this is pretty cool. Now, it can evolve from a level 4 or a level 5, so you can go from level 5 to level 5. While it's got a Digivolution card with Garurumon in its name, another reason to play the other Garurumon, you gain jamming, cannot be deleted by security Digimon, and it's got that same inheritable skill we've got on a couple of other Digimon, whereby while this Digimon has Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, it gains 1,000 power. But bearing in mind, you can Digivolve these into each other for 1 memory, and then Digivolve into the level 6, and you will be able to actually get this 1 inheritable skill activating multiple times. With the other ones that have got the same skill as well, you can actually build into a very, very beefy level 6 or 7 here, because you can potentially have this skill 6 times and then gain an extra 6,000 power, and at that point it is getting just a little bit silly. There is one other level 5 which is making a little bit of an appearance here. It is Beowulfmon, and we've got jamming, and if you've digivolved from a hybrid or blue tamer, you cannot be attacked on your opponent's turn. Cool. We are playing a hybrid Digimon, so essentially what we can have here is a Digimon with jamming. You will not be deleted against security Digimon, and that cannot be attacked by your opponent's Digimon, which means that essentially the only way this Digimon goes down is using skills, or if you choose to attack a Digimon which is more powerful than you, which might I suggest you don't. I should say all the translated proxies here do come from the lovely folks at digimoncard.dev. They are awesome. So moving over into level 6s here, then you probably shouldn't be surprised given how much I've mentioned its name already. This is an AncientGarurumon deck. This is the hook of the deck. We are playing a full 4 copies of AncientGarurumon. Because if you look at all the cards we've seen so far, you are searching out or boosting power of Digimon with Garurumon in their name. We've got that new Lobomon which specifically boosts up AncientGarurumon. We have got the tricks now to turn this into a top tier deck. Now, when you are attacking, once during your turn, you unsuspend 2 of your Digimon whose names contain Garurumon or a hybrid form, and you'll notice that that is the majority of the Digimon we're playing here. We are playing, once you get to level 4s and 5s, obviously, we are playing just a bunch of Garurumon and hybrid Digimon, so we are really taking advantage of this. This is going to get you a bunch of extra attacks. It's why we can afford to Digivolve a Lobomon straight up into this, knowing it's going away at the end of your turn, because you don't just get the attack with AncientGarurumon, you also unsuspend 2 of your Digimon whose names contain Garurumon or are hybrid form. So you get an extra 2 attacks when you do this. It is really rather ridiculous. It's also got a deletion skill that says you can play a hybrid form level 4 or lower blue Digimon from your hand without paying for it. But bearing in mind, if you Digivolve up from Lobomon here, you will be deleted at the end of your turn, which will activate this skill. So yeah, fine. If you use Lobomon to go into AncientGarurumon, it is a 1-turn deal. You only get AncientGarurumon for 1 turn. But you get to unsuspend 2 of your Digimon while you do so, while you attack the one time you're going to. And then at the end of your turn, you get to play a level 4 or lower blue Digimon from your hand, if it's hybrid form. Yes! It is absolutely worth it as a one-shot deal. And if you hadn't guessed yet, we're playing Omnimon as well. Honestly, you probably should have guessed, but just in case you didn't, we're playing Omnimon as well. It is actually just the BT1 Omnimon, the one we've all seen over and over and over again. The one that dominated the BT1 and the Booster 1.0 formats. What we've got here is when you Digivolve, choose one of your opponent's Digimon, delete all Digimon with that name. And when you attack, you may return a level 6 to your hand and unsuspend it. Which seems pretty good to me, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen. That seems pretty good to me. In terms of Tamers, I did tell you we got a couple of Tamers. We do actually have one which didn't see much play for a while, but I am seeing him pop up more and more often in decks lately. It's Davis Motomiya. Now, it's the usual thing. If your memory is 2 or less, it becomes free at the start of your turn. And when you play, you reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and add a blue Digimon and a green Digimon from amongst them to your hand. Now, we're not playing any green Digimon here, so clearly we don't care about that. But we're gaining extra memory, and we're grabbing our blue Digimon just that little bit faster. And you'll notice your Tamers and your little Digimon in this deck really are focused on drawing and getting set up, which is going to give you a faster, more consistent deck. This is a good thing. We've also then got Nokia Shiramine. Now remember, we're talking about a white Tamer here, so it's not a blue Tamer, cannot be searched in that way. But when you play it, you may play an Agumon or Gabumon from your hand without paying its memory cost, bearing in mind the Gabumon that we are playing here will essentially both let you draw a card. So you're getting your Tamer and your Gabumon and drawing a card for free memory, which is nuts. And then anytime you Digivolve your Digimon into a Digimon with Greymon, Garurumon or Omnimon in its name, which as we've seen is the vast majority of your Digimon, you can suspend it to reduce the cost of the Digivolution by 1. So over the course of the game, this is almost certainly going to pay for itself, and you get to play a Gabumon for free, and that means you're drawing a card when you do so. That is a little bit over the top, ridiculously good. We've got a couple copies of Hammer Spark here. It's a 0-cost card that gains you a memory, but if it comes out as a security card, it gains you 2 memory. Clearly, this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we've got that brand new white option card, which is starting to see a bunch of play in a bunch of these decks because it's really rather good. It is Mega Digimon Fusion, and yes, there are only 2 different option cards in this deck, and both of them allow you to play them for free. Yes, that seems a little bit over the top, but I won't tell anyone if you don't. And this is a 0-cost card that says the next time one of your Digimon digivolves from a level 6 to a 7, reduce the cost, and at the end of the turn, you return that Digimon to the bottom of its owner's deck. The thing is, if you cheat Digivolve up into AncientGarurumon, you lose it at the end of your turn. So what you could do is cheat Digivolve into AncientGarurumon, and then just cheat Digivolve into Omnimon, and then you've essentially paid 1 memory to go from a level 4 straight up into an Omnimon. Tell me that doesn't sound like fun, ladies and gentlemen. I might have to call you a liar. I love this deck. It looks pretty intimidating if I'm honest with you, but we've got underspending, we've got lots of draw and consistency options, and AncientGarurumon, it took a set. Wasn't amazing in BT4, but now we add in the Promo Lobomon and all the BT5 support for Garurumon focused decks, and it just became so much better. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus pods and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.